What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. I am the Hobbyist, and today I'm going to be doing an update on my Arrma Granite voltage. The last time you guys saw this truck, I had done a long battery conversion where I put in a custom 3D printed battery tray and set it up to run on a 7-cell stick nickel metal hydride battery. Well, I'm going in a different direction now because unfortunately after a bad landing, that battery tray broke, and I am still trying to figure out how to redesign the battery tray to make it stronger. So up until then, I have done a new setup, which I think you guys will find quite interesting. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Looking underneath the body, this truck needs no introduction. You guys know about it. You can see it looks very different from when the last time you guys saw it. So to start off, I have moved the ESC back on top of the chassis, and that was mainly due to the fact that, well, I was going to reuse the primary battery tray again. So this is the Traxxas Xl5 Esc with a Titan 12-turn motor. One modification I have done is I put a 19-tooth pinion gear on the motor, which has geared up a little bit, so that's very nice. You guys might be wondering what this is. This is actually a receiver box made specifically by Arrma for the Granite and Phazon voltage. So I think that was very cool. It was like $15, and it mounts right in to some of the holes that are located on this truck. With that, I also had to put in a new receiver because unfortunately the X-emitter receiver that I was using died, and I think that was just because it was not in a receiver box. It was just kind of bouncing around in the truck, and it was just getting beaten up. So I bought a Spectrum 2-channel receiver, 3-channel actually, and I bound it up to my old Spectrum DX2E Active. This is the radio that came out of my Losi Tenacity T when I bought that years ago, but that's now all bound up to my Spectrum DX5C. But I gave this radio another job because honestly I don't want my 2-wheel drives bound to the same radio as my 4-wheel drives, because my 2-wheel drives are kind of something that I let other people drive when they come over. As well as the new receiver box, if I flip it around, you can see I have also added a Common Sense RC adapter. This is Traxxas to EC3. This is because I run this on 2S LiPo now, and all of my 2S LiPos are EC3 connected. Now, underneath here, I found a person online who was selling the battery tray for the Granite voltage. So I picked up the battery tray. I don't use the AA slots, but it's good to have because then it'll hold the 2S LiPo much better. So it was nice to have that. Now, I have run into a bit of a problem, and I wanted to get your guys' input on. Driving this truck, it has got a very, very loose back end. It is constantly trying to spin out, which is different than the Traxxas Stampede 2-wheel drive Bigfoot edition that I showed in my last video. That handles really nicely. Now, this does not have oil-filled differentials. However, I think that I might be able to put a really thick oil in there, which would then just not be watery enough to leak out of the differential. So I wanted to know what your guys' input was on that. Do you think that I should try to put oil in the differential? Because when I drove this, it's very obvious that one tire is spinning up, which is causing it to spin out like crazy. But I wanted to get your guys' input on that. Anyway, that's about it for the updates for this truck. I did adjust the body mount slightly to make it sit a little bit higher, just because it has a bit more of a monster truck stance like that. But I am really curious in your guys' input about what I should do about the differential. And whatever you guys respond with, either through the YouTube comments or through Reddit, I will most likely do. So, anyway guys, I think that is going to do it for the video. I will do a running video on this after I get the differential sorted. So stay tuned for that. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment in the section below for what videos you'd like to see next. And that is all for today, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.